We get a lot of negative news each day from our clients, but we also get some positive news from asset managers, economists, stuff the clients don't hear every day. So we were at a few presentations the last few weeks. What's let's say, positive news? So we're not naive, but what's a positive news that you take out of?
Yeah, realistic. I think we're being realistic, and if you see the headlines on all the newspapers, it's very negative. But you have to put it in context. And like you said, we've been to a lot of conferences, and there's 4 points that I basically took away from that I want to share with our audience. And the first point is we have to be very careful as South Africans who we compare ourselves against. I mean, we go and travel. We travel to the United States or to Europe, these beautiful countries, first world countries. We must remember we are in Africa, first of all, and a small country on the south of Africa. So we're a third world country, a developing country. So we shouldn't compare ourselves, we should be careful comparing ourselves versus the first world countries, the more developed countries. We have to be realistic in that sense.
And if you compare us to Turkey and Brazil, they also have a few problems.
Then we're looking very attractive, exactly. And for now, we've got a president that most South Africans feel is the right person for the job. So first of all, we must be careful who we compare ourselves against. Then the second point was we need to give Cyril time. I was on the way here in an Uber yesterday. I took an Uber cab, and he said to me, I asked him what's his state about our country, and he said, you know what, I voted for Cyril, but now I'm not so sure. And I mean, we've only given him 2 months. People expect there should be quick results, and it won't be a quick turnaround. So we need to give Cyril time. I think he's making the right moves, appointing the right cabinet. Now with the whole Eskom debate, it brought in some expertise to make sure we sort out the Eskom debt. So he's making the right moves, but it will take time, and we need to give Cyril more time. That's the second point I want to make, and we're only finding out the whole Zuma, the effect of the whole Zuma era. We are actually only seeing that now. So we need to give him some more time. Hopefully 10 years would be enough time for him to turn it around. The third point I want to make is there's still great opportunities in South Africa. If you look at our bond markets, which is close to 8 to 9% return you can get on the bond markets compared to Europe, which I think is negative.
We can't compare to them. Because we've got better interest rates than them.
Yeah, so a lot of investors come to South Africa for that specific reason. And last week we also saw the news that PepsiCo, an international company, wanting to buy Pioneer Foods, meaning they still see a lot of opportunities in South Africa and great valuations. So there's a lot of money and investors coming to South Africa. So there is still great opportunities. And the last point I do want to make is, with that being said, we have to realize that South Africa is only about 0.5% of the world economy. So we are a very small player. So you need to look at broader investments in general as well. That doesn't mean you're negative about South Africa. It doesn't mean you want to immigrate, but you have to look for opportunities outside of Africa, because there's such a big world out there, and we are only a small player. So being a South African citizen, you can have you should have exposure to the broader market as well.
Yeah, so I think all of these points is just to be a bit more realistic, because I think people are so over negative and they're starting to make emotional calls with money. Never should emotion and money mix. And that's where you can get expert advice and just put you on the right track. And we're not naive about all the problems, because there is a lot of problems. But remember, your financial situation needs to be positive in some areas and diversify in others. So I hope you find that helpful.
Thank you very much, PJ.